All right, I just want to make another video of my car, just to let you guys know some problems with this. I call it a piece of shit most of the time, that's for sure. These damn engineers don't know what the fuck they're doing. Well, they do know what they're doing because they want you to buy new cars. They don't want you to keep your car any more than 5 to 10 years. It's a 2008 Buick Lucerne 3.8 engine. Yeah, you could go online as much as you want. And, hold on, let me get this door open. Pop this door open so it doesn't... There we go, okay. You could go online and look at the 3.8 engine. Everybody says, or at least, I don't know, 75% maybe. Bulletproof engine. Best engine ever made. But, all engines wear. All engines have problems. You could take care of them. You're still going to replace stuff. I mean, it's just maintenance. We all know that. We've been there, done it. Still doing it. Now, I personally can't do hardly any work anymore because I'm got a bad disease, and it's very, very difficult for me to work on cars. Well, I can't work on them anymore. Let's put it that way. I can't even change the fucking oil, Excuse my language. But anyhow, I always said that I'm going to make a new video of my disease. And, hopefully I will before I leave this world. Educate a lot of you about what I have and not to go near things to get what I have. So, all right. So, rambling on. 2008 Buick Lucerne 3.8 engine. Okay. Now, I have made a couple of past videos of different things, of problems with this car, and just want to make one note of this. Oh, let me get this box here. Hold on. This box. Oh, okay. Well, what I did was, about a month ago, I had a radiator leak. And the leak, won't be able to take a video of it, was somewhere... Sorry. Alright, the leak was somewhere up in there. If you're looking at the front of the car, it was to the right. Kind of looked like it was dripping from the upper radiator hose, but I think it might be somewhere in one of the fins. That's kind of like what I was looking at. Could be wrong, but got a couple prices on this for somebody to do it, and it's a fortune. This radiator is a bitch to take out. Just like everything else in this car. Yeah, coils are easy. Plugs are a bitch. All the plugs, all 6, except the one all the way over there. This one is pretty difficult. That one's easy. And of course, these 3 are easy. Other than that, that's a bitch. That's all I could say about the plugs, or the spark plugs. Alternator would be easy to replace, of course. Believe it or not, that's the original alternator. This thing has close to 100,000 miles. 2008. So not a whole lot of miles for, 14 years old almost. So it's in good shape. But I hate this car. I love it. I can honestly say I love it. I love driving it. I love the ride. But I hate the son of a bitch for everything that goes in it. Because you could buy this car. They're cheap now, actually. And I think you get them for less than $5,000. But you're going to spend a lot of money keeping these things on the road. Just want to let you know that. So you want to buy a $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 Buick Lucerne, which you don't make anymore. You better expect to spend anywhere from $500 to $3,000 a year to keep this son of a bitch on the road. Yeah, I'm cursing a lot because I'm just pissed off. Because every effing time I'm turning around spending money in this. And now I can't work on it. So it's going to cost me lots and lots of money. I think I spent $2,000 or $3,000 in just last 2 or 3 months on this damn car. So, and that's not even the previous months. So the radiator was leaking. I got a quote of $800, $900 to replace that radiator. It's a big job. You got to take all this shit off. The whole bracket, this bracket, the underneath, blah, blah, blah. You got to just take all kinds of shit off. It's at least a 5-hour job taking that damn radiator out. Even more, maybe. Who knows? but it's a big job. Okay. So what I did, I went out and bought some cheap ass radiator fluid shit to try to do it. You know, what was it, less than 12 bucks? Put it in here in the reservoir. It was a leak stop radiator, but it was one of the best ones. I read up online. It had more positive reviews. I even took some out of the radiator and put some in there. Put some in the reservoir, filled it up. Kept leaking, kept leaking, kept leaking. After a few weeks or whatever, finally it's almost stopped. It's like 95%. You know, maybe once in a while I might find a couple little drops, but that part worked. Okay, but being desperate and don't want to spend $800 to $1,000 on a radiator, I went and bought a $12 additive, and I knew I'm going to fuck up my radiator. It's going to fuck up the thermostat. It's going to fuck up the reservoir. It's going to F up the hoses. So don't expect when you pour that shit in that you're not going to have other problems, okay? Now this reservoir is super dirty. It's got all kinds of shit. See it? You know, that shit on the sides? Even the radiator fluid, the antifreeze is not, you know, a positive look. Now it's all fucked up. So, contaminated it. You're supposed to have good, clean radiator fluid to keep your engine running good, keeping it cool. Now I screwed it up. Got the leak fixed almost and pretty much. But what happened was the reservoir, just the other day, I came out, opened the engine, I checked my fluids because I'll tell you about a couple other things. And my radiator fluid was all the way up to the top here. First time this car's ever done that. Because usually it has a line here. It says cold right here where my finger is. And then when it gets hot, it goes up to here. This son of a bitch was all the way up to the top, even after it sat overnight. So when the engine cooled off overnight, that radiator fluid was all the way up to the top still. Okay? You go to this upper radiator hose. Right now it's pretty firm. It's hot, actually. It was very, very soft, but it still had the radiator fluid all the way up to the top of that reservoir. So I'm looking at it. I'm like, what the hell? I know I have to replace my upper radiator hose. If you're going to do that, you might as well, wherever the hell it is. Might as well replace the lower. Now, what's bitch about these cars today, and most of them are, the damn parts are expensive. Everything went up almost triple in price in the last couple of years. And most of this shit is made in China shit because it's all cheap shit. Even though you're paying triple the price, it's all crap. Okay? So, believe it or not, the lower radiator hose is about 26 bucks. The upper radiator hose is 50 bucks, which is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's not that much bigger than the lower. So you're going to spend minimum 50. You're going to spend $80 on two hoses. And that's at like AutoZone. You could spend $75 at Napa to get the upper hose. I think it's $100 and some at the GMC or the GM parts place. It's all ripoffs. See what I'm saying? But the old saying, do you get what you pay for? Well, it used to be that way. I don't know. I don't think it is anymore because most of it's made in China. And we know all China parts are shit. They don't last. Some of it's made in Mexico. I think that's better parts than China. Now they're coming up from Turkey. I don't know how Turkey parts are as far as car parts, but I do know guns, any kind of firearm that's manufactured in Turkey are actually really good. So they're excellent. So what happened when this filled up, I kind of went on the internet and read a little bit, and a couple people said, it's your radiator cap. So I checked out the radiator cap, and I had the original. And the original is right here in the box, and if anybody wants the number, Duralast. Oh, this one's made in India. Holy crap. This radiator cap from Duralast is made in India. Isn't that amazing? I've never seen an India part, so. But who knows? It might be better than China for sure. All right. So here's the old one. And, you know, it's, put it right there. It's 15 pounds PSI for the Radiator. That one's 15 pounds, okay? A little different on the writing, but it works. So that's the part, like I said, made in India. Who knows, you might get one made in China, send it back. Might get one made in Mexico. Duralast, a lot of parts are from Mexico, but I've been noticing a lot of parts are from China. So I think these big companies, no matter who you buy from, they're manufactured in probably, 5, 10, 15 different countries. That's what they do. Whatever's the cheapest, right? So I took that off, put the new one on. Believe it or not, now it's working. It hasn't done that. Now, if you look, let's try to do this if I could see it. Look at the shit in those holes. See that hole there covered up with crap? So let me try to put this over here. So if you look at this, look at that crap in that hole right there. See that? And if you turn this thing around, there's some more right there in front of my thumb. And they're holes. So they're clogged. See that? Clogged. So all that shit that I put in this Radiator clogged this son of a bitch up. Now I could probably clean it out, which I'm going to do. Put it back in the box and have it for a spare. I'm sure it'll work again. Because it's damn clogged. Because believe it or not, your Radiator cap is a very important. A lot of people don't think it just prevents it from spilling out. But it regulates the pressure. So the pressure of the system is this Radiator cap. And being clogged like that, I'm sure it didn't work. And that's from that $12 stop leak for that shit that did that. So that's a no-no. If you don't want to do it, if you want to sit there and spend, well, actually, if you want to buy your own Radiator, for maybe some of your cars might be easier than this stupid car. At least I have a car. I know thank God I have a car, I'm able to drive it every once in a while. I got to thank my chickens for that, right? Got to thank the Lord for that. You could do that. A Radiator for this car is about $200 to $300 to buy. A couple hoses, some antifreeze. Talking $350. You're going to save your money, but you're going to spend 5 hours putting it in for this particular car. But, it's better than $800 to $1,200, $800 to $1,000, whatever. But there again, I just want to mention to you one more time, you put that Radiator shit leak fix, no matter what you do, I guess any manufacturer, expect it's going to clog shit up. Now, I'm sure my thermostat's going to get clogged, which is right there. One thing about this car, too, it's easy to change the thermostat. Boom, 2 nuts, take it off, bam, done. Put your new one in. A lot of times, you could get with a new thermostat housing. And the reason why they do that, because they're made out of aluminum now. The old thermostat housings used to be made out of cast iron. Well, the aluminum wears, okay? So there's a little rubber gasket that goes on this thermostat. It's like a rubber thing around it. Put it in, and then you put your housing on top. But eventually the heat and the movement of the thermostat of opening and closing will wear that metal. Mostly the heat. So you always want to try to get a new housing if you want to replace the thermostat, because it might not sit properly, the new thermostat, and you don't want it to leak. So, and it will prevent it from non-functioning correctly. So, but they're expensive anymore. I remember in the day a thermostat was $3.99 for a stinking thermostat. For a thermostat, then they charge you for the extra rubber thing, the gasket, and the housing is like $39. Talking $40. And it's still shit because it's made out of aluminum. So I'm going to have to either replace that or take that off or have somebody do it and clean that thermostat, clean it out really good and put it back on again and flush the system out. So I might be able to get somebody to flush this crap shit out I put in it, replace that thermostat or clean that thermostat, and then replace the upper hose. Definitely got to be the upper hose. I think the lower hose is fine, which I should replace the lower hose because it's only $26 And I don't want to 6 months from now, a year, go back and have to drain the whole system and have somebody do it and replace that. So probably just replace both hoses. Because again, the upper hose is the most expensive. The lower hose is not. And I recommend on not using these clamps because, you know, you just take a screwdriver and you bend them and you pop them. But I like the old style with the screw in it. I don't know if I have any. Yeah, I got some right here. Hold on right here. I recommend these clamps right here. See them? These are like $5 for two. I mean, what the fuck? Everything's so expensive, man. So put these on instead because you can take a screwdriver. You don't want to over tighten them. Snug them up to your hose. Kind of tight. As soon as you put your radiator fluid in there, bleed the system and just see if there's any leaks. If there's a little bit of leak in your hose, go back and put your screwdriver on there and tighten it up a little bit more. Don't over tighten these because these will break. And for $5 for two, they used to be 39 cents a piece. And that wasn't that long ago. So we got that done. Let's see. Oh, and my bleeder is right here. See that? That's my bleeder valve. Just take a little wrench and as soon as the car warms up a couple times, you let the air out. Then you might have to add more radiator fluid. All right, one more thing, and I won't take too much more of your time, is replacing these coils. These coils, I replaced these coils 1.5 years ago. All right, they're important. If your car is running lousy, it's bogging down, chances are it's the spark plugs, the cables, or the coils. Okay, underneath there is called an ignition coil, which I've never replaced. That flat thing right there. See that flat thing? That's $80 to $100 just for that part. I've never replaced that, and I should replace that. Make sure you get the better coils. Don't cheap out on coils. They used to be $19.99. Now they're $39.99. That's a cheap one right there. See it without the writing. These are a little better. Now, believe it or not, they were the same price as this one, but these are much better. And these have gold plated tips where your spark plug cables go on. This one doesn't have gold plated tips. I had 2 of them that were bad. When I put these on, these 2 went bad. They cracked underneath. And I was getting an engine code of a misfire, and it was these 2 coils. So I bought the same coils, the same brand, but I looked in the box to make sure it was the ones with the writing on. And I think they're even made in a different country. So make sure you go to a little bit better coils. And I'm going to have to replace that one there, which is easy to do. 2 screws, one there and one back there, and just pop it off with a socket. Takes like 3 minutes. You don't need a mechanic to do that. Just, you know, that's easy to do. And make sure you buy the little bit better coils. Don't buy the real super cheap. And don't buy the ones without gold tip. I think the gold plated ones are better. Who knows? So there you go. A lot of problems with this car. There's going to be more, I'm sure. I'll make another video and I'll explain a lot of problems with this car. Yeah, the engine, I guess, might be top notch, might last, but you got to put money in it. Got to sink a lot of money. All right. Hope that helps you guys. I did get new air shocks for the back for here. I had somebody put air shocks on. Does it ride better? Yeah, I guess a little. Really can't tell much of a difference. But they didn't put a new air pump. And that's the original air pump. And that's like $300 just for that part. Probably another $300 to install it. So hopefully the air pump will kick in. I didn't want to go the way that a lot of people said. They said to eliminate the air shocks and put regular shocks. But I just didn't want to go that way. So I wanted to keep the air shocks. And if it ever needs an air pump, maybe I could get somebody to put it in for, you know, $150. Because I heard it was pretty easy. I don't think it's that hard. I wish I could do it. Because Saved me a hell of a lot of money, but I just can't do it anymore. Makes me mad. So, sorry about the cursing. I'm pissed off, but alright, we'll see you. Take care. I'll make another video soon, I hope. God willing.